Our daily Bible reading for January 15th. Our reading today comes from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 8. Matthew chapter 8, we'll begin reading in verse 1 through verse 13. When he came down from the mountain, great crowds followed him. And behold, a leper came to him and knelt before him, saying, Lord, if you will, you can make me clean. And Jesus stretched out his hand and touched him, saying, I will, be clean. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. And Jesus said to him, See that you say nothing to anyone, but go, show yourself to the priest, and offer the gift that Moses commanded, for a proof to them. When he had entered Capernaum, a centurion came forward to him, appealing to him, Lord, my servant is lying paralyzed at home, suffering terribly. And he said to him, I will come and heal him. But the centurion replied, Lord, I'm not worthy to have you come under my roof. But only say the word, and my servant will be healed. For I too am a man under authority, with soldiers under me. And I say to one, Go, and he goes, and to another, Come, and he comes, and to my servant, Do this, and he does it. When Jesus heard this, he marveled, and said to those who followed him, Truly, I tell you, with no one in Israel have I found such faith. I tell you, many will come from east and west, and recline at table with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven, while the sons of the kingdom will be thrown into outer darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And to the centurion Jesus said, Go, let it be done for you, as you have believed. And the servant was healed at that very moment. A few thoughts for today. In an extraordinary act of faith, a man shunned by society dares approach someone who is clean. Ordinarily, a leper would know their place and stay far from others and avoid making them unclean by the law of Moses standards. But this leper boldly goes up to Jesus and in a show of faith states, Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. We're not told how long this man had leprosy or anything of his life. But the life of a leper was one of loneliness and exile from society. Imagine the feelings he must have felt when approaching Jesus at the prospect of becoming healed. And now, in one spoken sentence, he was rid of that scourge of leprosy. One thing was left to do. Jesus tells him, Show yourself to the priest and present the offering that Moses commanded for a testimony to them, in verse 4. Though Jesus had healed the man, all things must be done in accordance with the law so that the man could be declared clean by Jewish society. One curious statement that Jesus makes that has puzzled many over the centuries is his command, See that you tell no one. Can you imagine what it must have been like to have your life transformed and yet be told to keep quiet? The normal human reaction is one that we find in the book of Acts when the crippled man was healed by Peter. We're told, and with a leap he stood upright and began to walk, and he entered the temple with them, walking and leaping and praising God, in Acts chapter 3 and verse 8. It's hard to imagine not wanting to tell anyone and everyone of the change. Perhaps the reasoning might be, as we will eventually see, that Jesus could go nowhere but that the throngs of people pressed in on him for healing. Maybe it was so that he might not draw the attention of the Jewish authorities, so that again he might move about freely. One thing is for sure, life would never be the same for those he touched. A question of the day. Has there ever been a time when you simply could not keep good news to yourself? Something you just had to tell everyone? And finally, a thought to meditate on this day. Look around and observe those you pass by today and try to imagine which people might be in need of the same healing the leper received from Jesus. And those are our thoughts for today, January 15th.